That's what they call themselves. And she's like, I like hanging out with you guys. And Bill is like, you hang out with us, that makes you a loser too. And she's like, all right. Okay, that's it. She just accepts it. You're a loser now. Be a fucking... Alright, so I was working delivery. And I make a run to this chick that lives in the projects. She orders a $15 meal and she hands me a 20, and I think that's a $5 tip because that's a generous tip. So I walk away and she's like, "Hey, give me back my change." And I'm like, "Miss, I don't have change." And she's like, "No, hell no, that's the third time this fucking week y'all did this to me." And I'm just like, "Why? Why do you keep ordering from us if we keep doing this to you? And on top of that, why don't you just give us exact change?" So she's like, "Nah, you stay right there." And she calls the restaurant. She calls the place that I work with. She's like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do? Cause your man ain't got change."
Yo man.
And they were, I was like, "What the fuck?" And she's on the phone and she's like, "Yeah, well you tell him that." She hands me her house phone.
Oh my god.
Dude, she hands me her house phone and I'm like, "Vincent speaking, how may I help you?" And my boss looks at me, well she talks to me over the phone and she goes, "Yeah, you're gonna need to go to the store for her and get change for her and then bring it back to her. And then come back with whatever she gives you."
Do I seriously have to do this extra work?
I was like, "Are you alright?" Are you fucking serious? So I hand her, I'm like, "Alright, miss, how much change would you like back?" She's like, "Oh, was you fucked up so bad? I want my full $5 back." So I reach into my pocket and I hand her my personal, like my lunch money, my $5. That's all I had on me.
Oh my god.
And she slammed the door in my face. I had to ride my bike back.
That is the saddest ride.
I made a delivery to Park Avenue, which all the fucking rich white snobs live at.
Yeah, of course.
Park and 85th. All the way from 106 and 2nd. Park and 80, that's like 2 miles in a diagonal direction. And this dude, Park Avenue, I don't know if you've been there, is nothing but hills, right?
Yeah.
And it's all uphill. I'm like, I was riding the bike, I was like, what kind of god makes this sick, cruel irony where downtown is uphill? I was fucked up. And I was just so pissed off because I rode uphill until my legs bled internally. And then I got off the bike and I was walking like... It's cold. It's snowing. I could get hit by a car. I've almost been hit by like 5 cars.
Oh my god.
So I get there and the door guy takes me to like this back alley elevator because that's where the service entrance is. I'm not allowed to walk in through the front door because I don't have a real job.
No.
And I go up and the dude's like, "You from Milk Burger?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Alright, thanks." Slams the door in my face. He paid online, so he didn't have to give me shit in person.
You did.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't eat. What the fuck?
You should be nice. You have some manners.
Yeah, exactly. I thanked one guy because the dude was like, "Oh, here's a tip." And I was like, "Thank you. Thank you so much."
You're the only nicest
And
one
the dude called my restaurant, and when I got back to the restaurant, they were like, "Vincent, this guy's calling about you." I'm like, "Why?" I was like, "No, he just said you're a good delivery guy."
Oh. Oh.
Like, cause I thanked him.
Oh.
That was it. You get nice stories like that sometimes, but then it's like you get these nightmare stories. Well, this chick was like, "Oh yeah, no, hang on, stay right there. My mom's coming up to tip you." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
Like,
then they do that.
I don't have time to wait for some stranger to come and give me money. Like, if I weren't working, yeah, I'd be waiting, but you know.
Yeah.
So I stand there, 5 minutes, no one comes, so I leave. And as I'm leaving, they're like, "Are you the delivery guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, stay right there. I got some change in my bedroom. Stay right there." She goes into her house and she comes out and gives me $5 in like dimes and nickels.
Fucking god. Jesus Christ.
She's like, "There you go. Here's your tip."
Oh my.
And it's like overpiling in my hands. I've got the food delivery bag on my back.
Oh my
god.
And I opened one door and there was like a whole party in there just shooting up. They were smoking weed.
Oh,
So the weed smell punched me in the face as they opened the door.
Oh my god.
I hope we never get to do that.
It was a fucking nightmare,
Dude,
honestly.
that'd be fucking hilarious. All the irony of smoking weed ordering Domino's. Still out of our fucking minds. The guy just pulls up, knocks on the door. It's with all that smoke. We're like, yo, man, oh, thank you for the pizza, slams door.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Well, shit.
the fuck?
What am I doing with my life?
He's like, I can't believe I'm making $11 an hour to do this.
Yeah, no, dude. Delivery guys make less than that.
I know.
Delivery guys, I made $5.50 an hour. Not even. I think I made less than that because you make tips. You get tips, but if you get like, let's say 5 deliveries in your 8-hour work shift, and only 3 of those people tip you like $4, you've made $12 in an entire day. You're not making any money.
That was the same thing for this old job I had. I worked at a comedy club, but it was much worse. Like, it's so bad. Like, the whole purpose of it was for me to sell tickets to people on the street for the hope that they could go into the show. So basically, I'd have to bargain with them for prices. And oh my god, it was big. Because the pay at the time was $9 an hour plus commission.
Okay.
What they didn't tell you was the commission was taken out of my paycheck.
For what?
Fuck if I know. So I got my first paycheck and I'm like, oh boy, I worked about 25 hours this week for my very first week. I'm a little excited.
Okay.
Opens up paycheck. $40.
Holy shit.
I was like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, oh yeah, that's the pay from, doing
That's your paycheck.
there's your paycheck because the commission you made was taken out because whatever I made from selling the tickets, they get like $5, like $5 per ticket that I sold.
What?
So if I sold a ticket for 10, that's half already.
Oh my god, dude. That
So there was one time I
blows.
sold 6. And I made like 120, so I had to give them $30 right there.
Holy
I
shit.
quit within like the second paycheck I got.
Dude, I don't blame you.
Like, I could not even deal with that.
When I got this job, I didn't realize I signed up for like the most expensive health insurance, which is Aetna. Aetna's like, they take what, like $400-500 out of your paycheck.
Oh, jeez.
So it was a lot, dude. I was getting my direct deposit for the first time. And my boss, not my boss, one of my old bosses that used to supervise me when I was in summer youth, he's the one that got me into the city. And he's like, yo, dude, when you get that first $1,000 paycheck, you're just gonna love it. And you're gonna go out and have a good time. I got my first paycheck, that shit said $700.
Oh, hey.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's not $1,000.
I was lied to.
This is not $1,000.
Where's my money? I stopped talking to him for like a month because I was mad at him. You fucking liar, piece of shit.
My first paycheck. Well, actually, for my first paycheck on this job that I just spent it on you. Moved here.
Yeah, I took all of Jan's money.
That's it.
But yeah, but working delivery, the only good thing about working delivery was that we got paid weekly.
Yeah.
And that every week it was $200 or $300 depending on how many deliveries you made. So I was working my ass off, dude, trying to make a good impression. On my first day, I made second place compared to their top delivery guy. He's been working there for like 8 years. He works double shifts, he takes 1 day off. He works double shifts 6 days a week and takes 1 day off. So he makes like God knows how much money because his legs are godly.
Oh my god.
And he does all this shit on bike. Like, not even electronic, pedaling bike.
What race was he?
With Mexican.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
What do you think he was?
Okay, good.
So, no, bro, I kept up with this dude. I was like 5 deliveries behind his record for that day. And they were like, yo, this guy's gonna make, this is like a a good delivery guy. So every day I was working my ass off trying to make a good impression, and at the same time trying to get my deliveries up for a bigger paycheck. And I got fired because I wanted to take off, I believe it was Easter. I wanted to take off Easter, but I didn't tell them that. I told them, yo, my dad's in the hospital, he fell, he hit his head, he's not waking up, I can't come into work. And my boss was like, well, you see, this is what being a man is about, and I need you to come into work and deal with your responsibilities and let your family take care of your dad.
What the fuck?
And I was like, he wasn't letting me explain that my mom's arthritic, she can't do anything, and my brother doesn't live in the States. Like, he lives in, at the time he was living in Connecticut, yeah. So it was just me, my mom, and dad. And he's not letting me explain that. So I'm like, I just can't come into work, you know. I've got to be with my family. He's like, all right, we'll stay in touch then, okay? I was like, all right, bye. And then 5 seconds later, he sends me a text saying, don't bother coming in for work ever again. Just come Friday for your last paycheck.
What the fuck?
And I got fired after working my literal ass off, dude, because at the end of the day, we were still required to get off our bikes and help mop. We had to help clean the rugs, do the dishes, and put the chairs away. And I had to take the rugs out that they stand on, the plastic mats, spray them down with floor cleaner and scrub them like a slave. Then I had to roll them up and put them next to the store. Like, dude, I just spent 8 hours on a bike, pedaling my ass off. And then I got fired for that. That was by far the worst job I've had.
That's fucking awful.
It's just the managers.
The guy was a fucking dick, dude. He did me a favor because after that I got hired by the city. And now I make more than all of his delivery guys combined.
That's fucking amazing.
That is cool.
Dude, I went back because like we were first canvassing the streets and I was near it. I was like 6 blocks away, so I walked 6 blocks to be petty. I walk in and I'm like, I want a burger. You remember me? And because I was working in the streets for so long, I got like that mean tan. So I walked in and no one recognized me because I was black.
Oh my god.
I was like, I want a burger. Why don't any of you know me? I remembered all of them by name. I remember Brian, Edwin.
You were just like, Eduardo.
Yeah.
Remember me? He's like,
who are you?
nigger.
Damn.
God damn.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. That got recorded.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy crap, dude. I can't even think of like the worst encounters I've had delivering to people, because I've been to really like shitty places. Like the East River projects are the worst projects. Those elevators are like small boxes.
My brother lives like, well, I mean, where are the East River projects? Where do you live?
It was like 100 and something street.
Okay.
So around.
Because my brother lives on the East River projects, but it's like all the way like on the actual Lower East Side.
Okay. No, these were like up on Upper East Side.
Okay.
So I walk in, you know what a porta potty is?
Yeah.
It was just a small hole.
No, dude, that's what the elevators are.
That's what it was. It was just a tiny piece of shit elevator.
Fucking urine smell. You smell urine everywhere.
Yeah, I was standing in it. And I told my boss, I was like, never send me again. Please.
Oh my god.
I went to Washington projects and those were like a jail. There's just fences everywhere. So I got lost in a maze of just gates and fences. And on top of that, there was construction scaffolding everywhere. So it was just, and I had to ride a bike into that. It was horrible. One dude took his job too seriously. He was like willing to die hard for it. And he stood in front of my bike because it was a no bike zone. So he stood in front of a moving bike while it's snowing and raining and there's slush everywhere and I can't stop immediately. He stands in front of my bike and holds his hand out. He's like, stop, you can't bike here. And I'm like, trying to not die.
Oh my freaking god.
Fucking Rent-A-Cop wants to take his job too seriously.
Oh, Jesus.
You find the craziest shit in New York, I swear to God.
It's funny.
At the end of the day, I'd rather be talking to homeless people and endangering myself rather than doing delivery. I will never ride another bike again.
Not gonna lie, I'd rather go back to Shake Shack and suffer through all that abuse.
To be fair, I like when it comes to restaurants, just dealing with the people is funny as fuck.
Nah, dude, I got fucking irritated. There was one time, so, I worked cashier,
Yeah.
and it was me and my coworker at the time. Her name was Versace, and we were fucking like best buds. Like she was mad cool, I was mad cool. I know I'm fucking cool, but like we were both down to earth, and we were like fuck around and shit. So there was one time that she was getting off of work around 6, and I started my shift at 6. So, you know, we met up. I'm waiting for her to clock out so that I can go on her register and start taking orders. And at that time, you know, students usually get out. Well, no, it wasn't. Yeah, students usually get out of class. The big bosses usually got out of work, so they would come straight to Shake Shack. So there was this one white lady that came in with her kid, fucking like ideal look of a soccer mom.
Like, kind of medium, so medium height, blonde hair, white
sports
chick.
jacket and leggings.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I'll be on the phone like this with her son.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, what kind of ice cream do you have? And we're like, it's not ice cream.
The kind that's cold, you dumb bitch.
And we're just like, man, we have custard, as you can see, right fucking behind
Can you not
us.
read?
I love custard, dude.
No, like we made the custards right behind us. There was a machine. We would make the chocolate and vanilla and take it to the back in the freezer, and then scoop it up for like the shakes or the cones or the cups.
Okay.
So this lady, we were just like, oh man, the custard's are ready. She's like, that's not what I'm asking. What kind of cones do you guys have?
The ice cream cones?
And I'm like, man, you literally just said what kind of ice cream do you have, not what kind of ice cream cones do we have. And I was like, either way, we have waffle cones. And she was just like,
Don't give me an ad. I just gave you what we got.
this fucking place and this fucking cashier. But I wasn't on cash at the time, it was my friend. So me and her looking at each other, we're fucking dying of laughter. We're fucking dying. So we end up taking this dumb bitch's order. She moves on. When she left, that's it, we lost it.
You started laughing.
The next guest looked like we were fucking crazy. They looked at us like, these niggas are going bad.
Hey
They
man.
were fucking
remember.
dying. We're like, yo, this dumb bitch.
Fuck. I remember.
I would have made fun of her so long.
That was fucking hilarious.
The homeless people look out for each other, like the ones that are mentally stable. They, cause we walked up to one chick,
And she was like, I'm fine, I don't need any fucking services, leave me alone. And we were like, alright. I look at my partner, I'm like, put that down as one refusal, doesn't want to talk to us. And I look at my partner, I'm like, hey, how about that homeless lady over there? And then all three of us, me, him, and the homeless chick on the ground, all turn our heads to look. And she's like, hey, hey! And she gets up and she runs across the street to the other homeless chick. And we're just standing there like assholes, just watching, waiting what happens. And all we see is her like screaming at this chick and pointing at us. And then this girl, we walk over to her after they separate and she pretends to be asleep. She's like, they're coming for you. Don't talk to them, they want your information. You know, like, alright, you fucking ruined my thing. I walked up to one dude who he kept insisting that he was blacklisted.
Jesus Christ.
And he held up a piece of cardboard in front of his face so we couldn't see it. So it'd move and he'd move the cardboard. Move and he'd move the cardboard. So he doesn't want to talk to us, we walk away. We tell the cops to walk up to him. Like, yeah, go talk to him. And the cops stand on either side of him so he doesn't have two pieces of cardboard so he can't block both of them. And he's just like, can you all leave me the fuck alone? And he gets up. They're harassing me! Everybody, look! They're harassing me, they want to take my rights away. All we wanted to know was, what is your name, sir? That's all we want. That's all. Like, hey man, good morning, what's your name? They're harassing me! Like, alright. Alright.
Man, I have a joke.
I'll see you
but I
the
feel
fuck
like
later.
It's par.
Like, even today, the people that are out there in 20 degree weather, we met one dude who's always mean to us. Like, he does not like us. And we saw him again, and I didn't recognize him because his hair got so much longer since the last time I saw him because he can't get a haircut.
Yeah.
And he was shivering inside this blanket, just wrapped up in himself. And we were like, hey man, are you alright? And I wasn't even following my normal pitch. I was genuinely asking, are you about to die? Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And this guy goes, oh, it's you again. Leave me the fuck alone, alright? I'm not giving you any information. Go away. His anger heated him up. He was warm. You know, I've met people. Well, I didn't meet this guy, but I saw this dude. You know those newspaper stands? You reach inside and it's a free newspaper.
Yeah.
Dude grabbed one of those and knocked it over. He just threw the entire thing to the floor, and he's yelling this gibberish language because he's fucking crazy. And he walks into a Starbucks and harasses everyone inside, then walks out.
Fucking hell,
Walks
dude.
across the street. He yells at a tree. He grabs flowers out the tree's roots and throws them at a car. And he's just fucking shit up everywhere he goes. So I'm like, alright, in situations like this, we have to call 911 because I was by myself at the time, right? So I call 911. I'm like, yeah, this guy here is harassing people. He spat on a guy. He pushed another guy. Called one dude the N-word, and it's just he having a jolly old time by himself.
New York
So
City people.
I'm following him, tracking him to see where he goes, so I can tell the cops when they call me back on 911. And the dude notices I'm following him, so he turns around and starts walking back towards me.
Oh.
And you know, I keep like a good 10, 20 feet away from him, and all I hear is him scream, "Tell me what you want!" And dude, I wanted to fuck with him, but I had to act like professional. I was gonna be like, "What is your favorite color?" But you know, it's just fucking shit that we encounter, dude. Because we're people persons. Fuck that. Oh my god.
We're people to ourselves.
I see that same dude, he travels this entire city. Like, I've seen him on Riverside, Central Park, Amsterdam, Broadway,
What kind of
East Harlem,
Yeah.
Lexington. I've seen him everywhere. He just travels.
Does he eat?
I assume so, Jan.
I don't think he eats. I don't think he eats.
He eats like sewer rats.
He takes him straight from the fucking train tracks. Oh, look, dear.
The train track goop. He's just like, seasoning.
Rations.
Oh, look, the water from the sewer. Look, that's my boiling water.
Oh god.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
I was telling Jan about a couple of the people that I talked to. Like, I met the person that caused 9/11.
That one.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I walk up to this chick and I look at her and I, follow my pitch. Hello, good morning, how are you? And the first thing that comes out her mouth is, I caused 9/11. And I looked at her. I had the police behind me. I looked at the cops. And we all looked at each other and we were just, I don't know. And I was like, who told you that? She was like, they did. And she pointed at the people across the street. I was like, well, I'm not like them, we just met. I think you're pretty nice. So see, my grandmother has schizophrenia. So I know how to talk to people without pissing them off because of my experience with her. And this chick was crazy, so I started talking to her like I talked to my grandmother. And I put her in a good mood, cheer her up. And I'm like, what happened to you? And she's like, the government set me up as a baby to take the fall for 9/11.
Jesus.
They killed my family so I have nowhere to go, and they are intentionally keeping me homeless. They secretly listed me as mentally ill, but I know I'm not mentally ill. And I was like, sure you do. Alright. I was like, well, I've got the police.
What?
Yeah. I've got the police right here.
It sounds like that, the stories we made when we played fucking Bucket of Doom, my guy.
Yeah, no, you can't make this shit up.
It's nonsense.
She ends up not wanting services, and she wears all of this, she wears expensive $100 jewelry, like pearl necklaces, diamond necklaces, fancy dresses. She keeps her whole luggage in front of a Wells Fargo on 42nd and Lex.
Man.
And her name is Rosemary, if anyone's interested in meeting her.
in.
And it's just a clusterfuck of why. Like one dude, we were sitting down minding our damn business, and one guy walks up to us, me and my partner, and he's like, "Excuse me, gentlemen, I'm homeless. You know, I just got out of prison. I ain't got no ID, and my girlfriend's giving me all this shit because of money problems, and what am I supposed to do?" He goes off and he just lets off steam. He just starts talking about his personal life, and he's like, "Can you all help me out? You know, dollar, quarter, nickel, anything?" And I look at him and I'm like, "You said you're homeless, sir?" He goes, "Yeah." And in my head, I saw fireworks. Like I saw an entire carnival light up, and I was like, "Come one, come all, homeless services right here." I held out my ID, and I was like, "Sir, we actually work for homeless services. You know, we're field agents, and we can get you services that you could benefit you." And we hand him a flyer filled with information, phone numbers to call to get your ID, and food, soup kitchens, places to get food and clothing and all that shit. And he's like, "No, could you just help me out with like some money?" I looked at him and I said, "Sir, we're not authorized to give you money." And he twitched. His whole neck just snapped and twitched. And he was like, "You're not authorized? They can't tell you what to do with your money." And I look at him like, "I know. I'm still not authorized."
I don't need to.
And he takes the paper that I gave him and he crumples it up and throws it next to me. He's like, "Give that shit to someone who needs it." I'm like, "So you don't need it?" Like what? Make up your mind.
Did you just cancel all your videos?
He's a fucking scam artist.
Fucking dick, dude.
So what ends up happening is we're sitting on like a round community bench. So he goes to the other side of the semicircle and he starts talking to some other guy. "Can you believe those assholes said they're not authorized to give me money?" I'm like, what? He starts harassing all the white college kids from like other states, and they all give him money because they're all stupid, not from New York. That dude hustled. He got a lot of money that day, but not from me. You know, Mike looks like he's falling asleep.
I'm almost gone.
Alright. That's one in the video here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say bye-bye.
Later.
Well,